Hello everyone. Today we will be doing the poem The Man He Killed, written by Thomas Hardy. So, as you can see in the very title of the poet has said that the poem is about the man he killed. Now, who has killed this man? This cannot be the poet because he does not say the man I killed, and therefore that means there is somebody else who's telling us the story of the man he killed, and that someone too has not killed the man. That means it is a third person, he, who has killed the man. The second thing that comes to our mind before we read the poem or we start reading the poem is who all are into the act of killing people. So, is this a criminal? Is this a soldier on the battlefield? Or is this just any man who has happened to kill somebody else accidentally? So, basically, not everybody gets into killing. We'll read the poem and then we'll see about whom is this poem, who is this man who has killed this another man. So the poem starts, had he and I but met by some old ancient inn, we should have set us down to wet right many a nipperkin, but ranged as infantry, and staring face to face, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. I shot him dead because he was my foe. Just so, my foe of course he was. That's clear enough, although he thought he'd list perhaps, off-hand like, just as I was out of work, had sold his traps, no other reason why. Yes, quaint and curious war is. You shoot a fellow down, you treat, if met where any bar is, or help to half a crown. So, we saw in the poem that this is basically a soldier who kills another soldier on the battlefield. And therefore, in the very first stanza of the poem, the speaker or the narrator tells us, had he and I but met by some old ancient inn, we should have set us down to wet right many a nipperkin. So, अगर हम दोनों, वो और मैं, had he and I, had we met in some old ancient inn, right? So old is synonymous with Purana, and ancient is also Prachin. So an inn is a place where you are offered, it's kind of a hotel in olden times, where people were given accommodation, food and drinks. So he says, had both of us met somewhere else other than the battlefield, had we met in an old ancient inn, so we would have sat down together, we should have set us down to wet right many a nipperkin. Both of us would have sat down together, we would have told each other our worries, our troubles. हम एक दूसरे को अपने दुखड़े सुनाते, अपनी तकलीफ़ें सुनाते और एक दूसरे के दुखड़े सुनकर, ना, we would have listened to each other and we would have cried for each other, and we would have wet many a handkerchief. Nipperkin is a handkerchief. But of course, as fate would have it, we did not meet in any hotel in any ancient inn, but where did we meet? We met on the battlefield, but ranged as infantry and staring face to face, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. But as fate would have it, we met on the battlefield, ranged, standing in front of each other as infantry soldiers. So as you know that in the defense services, you have three wings of the defense services. You have the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. An army deals with people who fight on land. Now, even on land, you have different regiments, you know. You have the infantry, which includes soldiers who fight on foot. Then you have the cavalry, which includes soldiers who fight on horses. And you have the artillery, which deals with arms and ammunition. So you have various regiments in the army. And here, both of these soldiers were in the infantry. So he says we were facing each other standing on the battlefield as soldiers in the infantry, and as we were, you know, ordered to open fire, he shot at me and I shot at him. Both of us tried to kill each other, and I succeeded. I was lucky. I did not die, but I killed my enemy soldier at his place. Now, fine, because this was his job, he fought on the battlefield and he killed his enemy. Now this is the time for introspection, for musing. अब यहाँ पे हमारा जो नरेटर है वो सोच विचार कर रहा है कि मैंने क्यों मारा उस आदमी को. I shot him dead because he was my foe. Just so, my foe, of course he was. That's clear enough. Although, तो मैंने उसे क्यों मारा? Why? I shot him dead because, सोच रहा है, क्यों? क्योंकि वो मेरा दुश्मन था, इसीलिए. और किस लिए? बिल्कुल इसीलिए मारा क्योंकि वो मेरा दुश्मन था. It's very clear. There is no doubt about it. I killed this other man because he was my enemy. He was my foe. Now this hesitation in the speaker's mind, you know, this makes us think. It sets us thinking. The way he says, because he was my so, just so, my foe, of course he was. उसे अपने आप को कन्विंस करना पड़ रहा है कि बिल्कुल क्योंकि वो मेरा दुश्मन था इसीलिए मैंने उसे मारा. तो जब वो बार बार कह रहा है हाँ वो मेरा दुश्मन था, हाँ वो मेरा दुश्मन था, सो हमें सोचने पे मजबूर कर रहा है एक तरह से कि एक्चुअली टू अननोन पीपल, क्या वो एक दूसरे के दुश्मन हो सकते हैं? These two soldiers who met on the battlefield, they did not even know each other. How were they enemies? How were they foes? So on second thoughts, the narrator feels, नहीं मे बी शायद वो मेरा दुश्मन नहीं था, शायद वो भी मेरी तरह आर्मी में इसीलिए एनलिस्ट किया था उसने भी क्योंकि उसके पास कोई नौकरी नहीं थी, कोई सोर्स ऑफ इनकम नहीं था. So therefore he says, he thought he'd list perhaps offhand like just as I was out of work, had sold his traps, no other reason why. So maybe he thought, उसने भी यही सोचा होगा मेरी ही तरह कि आर्मी ज्वाइन कर लेता हूँ यूं ही. क्यों? क्योंकि कोई नौकरी नहीं थी. There was no other source of income, no employment. He had nothing left to himself. So therefore, maybe he too, like me, had joined the army for no other reason, right? That was the only reason, a source of income. Now here the narrator as well as the poet, they are thinking why soldiers join the army. Is it a sense of patriotism that makes them join the army, or is it just that army is a source of income for them? So we come to the final stanza. Yes, quaint and curious war is. Right? So what does the poet call war? He says that war is a very quaint and curious thing. Quaint, curious, strange, they are all synonyms, है ना? तो बहुत अजीब सी चीज़ है war. You shoot a fellow down, you treat if met where any bar is. So आप एक आदमी को मार देते हो, you kill a person. अगर शायद आप उसी आदमी से कहीं और मिले होते, किसी और माहौल में मिले होते, किसी इन में मिले होते, तो शायद आप उसे ट्रीट करते, आप अपने पैसे खर्च करके उसे खिलाते पिलाते. Right? So war is such a strange thing that it makes you kill people, unknown people. Otherwise, you would be actually treating such people. You would be very sympathetic towards such people. You would cry for these people and their troubles. and you would treat these people and you would even help these people with some money. That's in the final line of the poem. The poet says, or help to half a crown. So, in olden times, crown was a currency in England, and अगर आप पीछे notes में देखेंगे, last note है on page 57, and there they've mentioned that half a crown is a small amount of money. It was used in Great Britain before 1971, and it was worth 2 shillings and 6 pence. That means 1/8 of a pound, and in today's terms 1/8 of a pound is equal to rupees 10 in Indian currency, Indian value. So अगर आपके उसके दुखड़े सुन के आप उसे थोड़े से पैसे भी यूं ही पकड़ा देते, लेकिन क्योंकि हम लड़ाई के मैदान में मिले तो हमने एक दूसरे की हेल्प नहीं की. We did not cry for each other, we did not feel sympathetic towards each other, but we tried to kill each other, and I was the one who was successful in killing my enemy soldier. So ये poem जो है ये एक एंटी वॉर पोएम है. इस पोएम में हमारे पोएट ये क्वेश्चन रेज कर रहे हैं कि वॉर जो है क्या उसका कोई मतलब बनता है. वॉर में सोल्जर्स पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं और वो एक दूसरे को यूं ही मार देते हैं, तो वॉर बेसिकली बहुत सेंसलेस चीज़ है. इट डजंट हैव एनी रीज़न, उसके कोई सर पैर या कोई वजह नहीं होती, बस यूं ही लोग एक दूसरे को किल कर देते हैं. देयरफॉर वॉर इज़ अ wrong thing. War should not take place. This is the poet's way of raising his voice against war and violence. I will recommend कि आप लोग सब पोएम पढ़ें और उसके बाद पोएम के एंड में जो नोट्स एंड ग्लॉसरी नोट्स दिए हुए हैं उनको डिटेल में पढ़ें, बिकॉज पोएम में जितने भी डिफ़िकल्ट वर्ड्स या नए एक्सप्रेशंस आए हैं वो सारे यहाँ पे डिस्कस किए गए हैं इन डिटेल. अनदर थिंग दैट हैज़ बीन पॉइंटेड इन द वेरी फर्स्ट नोट एट द एंड ऑफ द पोएम इज़ वी हैव टू ऑब्जर्व दैट हर स्टैंजा पोएम का इन्वर्टेड कॉमास से शुरू होता है और वो उस स्टैंजा के एंड में ख़त्म नहीं होते इन्वर्टेड कॉमास, वो पूरी पोएम ख़त्म होने के बाद ही ख़त्म होते हैं. सो ये इन्वर्टेड कॉमास हमें बताते हैं कि इस पोएम को पोइट नहीं सुना रहा, पर वो डायरेक्ट स्पीच में किसी और के शब्दों को हमें प्रेजेंट कर रहा है. आई एम श्योर यू हैव ऑल रेड डायरेक्ट एंड इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच, और डायरेक्ट स्पीच को हम हमेशा इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में देते हैं. तो ये पूरी की पूरी पोएम जो है ये किसी और के मुंह से पोइट हमें सुना रहा है. देयरफॉर दिस पोएम हैज़ बीन प्रेजेंटेड इन डायरेक्ट स्पीच टू अस. एक इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन भी बनता है इस पोएम में, हु इज़ ही इन द टाइटल ऑफ द पोएम. सो हु इज़ दिस ही? इज़ इट द पोएट? नो, इट इज़ नॉट द पोएट. इज़ इट द स्पीकर और द नरेटर ऑफ द पोएम? नो, इट इज़ नॉट इवन द स्पीकर और नरेटर ऑफ द पोएम, क्योंकि जो नरेटर है पोएम का वो भी क्या कह रहा है, वो आदमी जो उसने मारा, राइट, मैंने मारा नहीं कह रहा है वो भी अपने मुंह से. So that means neither the poet, this he is neither the poet nor the narrator of the poem, but this he is another man, another soldier. He is a soldier who kills another soldier on the battlefield. With that, we come to the end of this poem, The Man He Killed.